A meeting was held today in Kalaniya. It was attended by the chairman of the Kalaniya Pradesh Sabha and Paliagoda Urban Council. These are some of the views expressed at the occasion.
If he came to disrupt this meeting today, the people of Kalaniya would have taught him a good lesson. We urged the authorities to conduct investigations on Park Road. How did he possess a house from Park Road? He bought over a land right opposite Liberty Plaza at 80 million when it was valued at 150 million. He also has buildings in Navala. Can he really possess such assets? Does he even do a job? He has 50 acres in Kuliapitiya. We are well aware about all of this. He does not understand the pulse of the people. Did he even donate 10 sheets of asbestos? He is deceiving the people. He carried out an act before the people. We are standing against this. Let us take Kalaniya, which is identified as a religious land, towards creating a disciplined society. When he came to Kalaniya, he did not even have a place to stay. We made sure that he received 153,000 votes at the election. However, when he contested from Colombo, he only received 2,000 votes. Even I pasted his post on my jeep during the campaign, which read, "I will protect you." However, he did not do so. We want to talk to him face to face and question him as to who really obtained money and engaged in extortions. We want to ask him who exactly have been reformed. Has he provided a job to anyone? If there is a person, please identify yourself. According to what I know, he sells the jobs. The foreign employment opportunities are being provided to the agency, which has been put up by his son-in-law. He is constructing a house in Park Road which amounts to nearly 140 million to 150 million. We are not slinging mud at him. We are making an open invitation. We request the courageous people of Kalaniya who exercise their franchise to pose a challenge to the minister and our group. Come for this challenge by bearing stones. If we are wrong, hit us with the stones you possess. But if he is wrong, hit him with these stones. However, if he has engaged in any corrupt activity, he does not deserve to be in this religious land. Who assaulted us? Is it Singapore Sarath who possesses 3 bars? The Samanala Paradise Bar was open after introducing the Matata Tita program. 3 kilometers into Singaraja, there was venison being sold at his restaurant. He has to be responsible for the good and bad at this Pradesh Sabha and should be held accountable for all the corruption that takes place in Kalaniya. He has already given contracts to murder us. Respectable leaders will not engage in such activities. He identifies himself as a leader who is on par with national level leaders. If that is the case, will he give contracts to kill us? Sorry for saying it, there is anger in our hearts as we too were associating him. Let's put aside all his activities. He does not even know how to talk. He attempts to remove our clothes in public. Who is he to do that? He is from Tissa Maharama and we are from Kalaniya. He is identifying himself as King Dutugamunu. If we call him Dutugamunu, what are we to call King Dutugamunu himself? He also has another title, that is the doctorate. If we are to call him a doctor, how can we identify a true professional? We challenge him to come to the Kalaniya electorate. On the 25th of March this year, he is celebrating his 68th birth anniversary. He will not be marking this milestone here. I am responsibly saying that he will be spending his time with Kudu Lal and Lal Piris in India. He cannot stay in Sri Lanka.
Well, former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca made this statement when he was brought to a private hospital in Colombo today for physiotherapy treatment.
Colombo Kudu Silva is paying for his sins in this life itself. Kalaniya Kudu Silva has let the cat out of the bag. I am happy that those in the Kalaniya Pradesh Sabha have finally understood the truth.
Today marks the third death anniversary of senior journalist Lasantha Wickrematunge. This is our memorial to a man we will not forget, a man none can forget.
The editor-in-chief of the Sunday leader newspaper, Lasantha Wickrematunge, was travelling to work as usual via Athidia Road in Ratmalana. The time was 10:25 in the morning. Assassins stole Lasantha's life, raising massive questions regarding the freedom of the media. A prominent journalist, politician and humanitarian, Lasantha Wickrematunge was a man of many skills. Establishing the Sunday leader newspaper with the aim of uncovering the truth, Lasantha posed a serious threat to all governments. Proving that the quill is stronger than the sword, Lasantha never shied away from exposing criminality, no matter how far up the social ladder. Raising a strong voice against injustice, Lasantha travelled down new paths in investigative journalism, amazing his critics and followers alike. Lasantha had no shortage of experience in garlands and applause as well as violence against him. He acted making political turmoil and conflict his life's work. A journalist who acted for the people, Lasantha was honoured by the UNESCO Guillermo Cano Award for Media Freedom, the National Press Club's Press Freedom Award, and posthumously the IPI World Press Freedom Hero Award in recognition for his immeasurable service.
We as media personnel will have to face up to this challenge. This is not the first time media organizations have come under attack, and it certainly won't be the last. But we as media personnel must face up to this challenge, not be bowed down under whatever threats and intimidation, and unitedly face this threat.
Lasantha Wickrematunge was a fearless journalist who battled with his pen, giving a voice to the voiceless. His death was not the death of one person, as is clear from the distress and turmoil it caused in local and international media and in civil society. Death came looking for him, informing him that this was a consequence of standing up for justice. People did not need to be encouraged to flock to his body as it lay resting. The international community condemned the assassination, considering it a death blow to media freedom in Sri Lanka. It has been 3 years since his demise, but still.
And within these 3 years, though many promises were made, dates given, that his perpetrators will be brought to justice, it has not happened. In fact, 2 accused who were apprehended and remanded, one of them has died in prison, and the JMO has given an open verdict. There has been absolutely no breakthrough in the investigation, and this is an indictment both on the government and the police.
None of us can be free from the charge that Lasantha did not receive justice.
Months after Lasantha was killed, there has been no proper investigation into his murder, despite vital evidence in possession of the police, including information on 5 mobile phones used to trail and murder my husband. They arrested several soldiers and released them. I do not believe Lasantha will get justice under this regime, but all we can do is keep speaking about it so that he and others like him will never be forgotten.
A memorial was held at the office of the Sunday leader newspaper today, and also the Borala Cemetery to commemorate Lasantha Wickrematunge. Lasantha, you will be forever remembered and respected. The ultimate sacrifice that you made representing a generation of journalists in this country will not be forgotten.
A Navy officer who was taken into custody for following the vehicle of Sunday Leader newspaper journalist Frederica Jans was further remanded until the 16th of this month. This was after the suspect was produced before the Nugegoda magistrate this afternoon.
Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohan has said that the suspect was taken into custody based on a complaint lodged by Frederica Jans. SP Ajit Rohan noted that Frederica Jans had lodged a complaint stating that a motorbike had followed her vehicle in the Nadukaravatta area in Mirihana. The police media spokesperson said that accordingly the alleged Navy officer, who is a resident of the Madivela area, was taken into custody last night.
It was around 12:30 or 12:40 in the afternoon. When I got closer home, I noticed a bike was tailing me. Not only was he tailing me, he came up on the left-hand side of my car and he was looking at me in a very threatening manner and, trying to cut into the car, and he was clearly trying to intimidate me. I watched him and he continued to tail me till I turned onto my lane. He turned too. He stopped at the top of the lane while I went halfway down. I stopped outside my gate and I watched him in my rearview mirror. In the meantime, I had called my eldest son, who was at home, to come outside. While I watched, this man turned his bike around. He went back onto the main road and he circled 3 times, all the time looking in my direction. My son came out. I told him to get into the car. I turned my car around. When I got to the top of the road, this man was stopped and he was taking a phone call. He was on his mobile. I stopped behind him. He again turned and looked at both me and my son very threateningly. He then slowly took off. I continued to follow him. Meanwhile, I was trying to call the Mirihana police emergency unit. I continued to follow him. He stopped again. He pulled over again, midway down Talapatpitiya road. I also stopped behind him. He turned towards Madivela and then onto Shalava road. I did too, but Shalava road is a very narrow road and branches off into many other sections. And he just then took off like a rocket, and I tried to follow him, but I lost him. I have absolutely no idea why he tailed me like that or why he acted in a threatening and intimidating manner.